Dear Diary, today I was in a little accident. Not a problem though, for I was wearing my brown pants today, luckily. However, that wasn't stopping the water from sinking the plane. I had to escape and find something to hang on to, or else I would drown. Again, though, luck was on my side today, as there was a life raft deployed ready for use in the middle of all this wreckage and carnage. Dear Diary, the first day after the crash. When I finally woke up in the blazing sun, I found myself surrounded by destroyed ships. I had to sit and collect myself for a moment. How long will I be out here? No, the real question was, how long will I survive? I need to make a shelter. I need water. As I was paddling to shore, the friendly neighborhood shark arrived to give me a tour of what seems to be my new home. I realized after checking my pack, I only had enough food to last until second breakfast, so I pulled the raft to the beach so it wouldn't float away, and I got to work. For some reason, I thought I saw something on Discovery Channel saying that yucca trees would give me lots of fruit. Apparently that was wrong. It just gave me a bunch of leaves. However, I did see on how it's made, I could make a bunch of rope with this material. From there, I was able to fashion a proper knife, and second breakfast had long passed. With all the Survivor Man I watched, getting a fire was a piece of cake. However, as my crab cake was baking, my raft was back in the water. The tide must have risen. I'll have to remember that. As I was sitting next to the fire, I noticed that the trees have coconuts in them. They were easy enough to climb, and after collecting a few, I wasn't quite sure how I was going to break them open. But after just a few whacks, I was finally able to get a drink from it. I made myself a little meal here. Not too bad for a first day. Night has fallen. I have completely forgotten to make myself anywhere comfortable to sleep. It's going to be a long night. Dear Diary, day 2 after the crash. I've managed to make an axe out of some rocks and sticks, and I've started cutting down some trees. I should be able to use the whole thing. Later in the day, I was looking through the wreckages littered all around the island, and I managed to find some tires in one of the old boats. However, the tires were too cumbersome to move out by hand, so I had to give up on them for now. In another wreckage, I managed to find an unopened box. Inside, I had found a flashlight and some kind of filter that managed to stay dry. I wonder what else I can find out there. As I continued searching through the wreckages, I was viciously attacked by a poisonous starfish. I'm gonna have to figure out how to handle this soon. Still without a reliable source of water, I started collecting a few more coconuts before the sun started setting. If it wasn't for this poison, I think I might be enjoying all of this. Dear Diary, dawn of the third day. Possibly the worst thing that could have ever happened has happened today. I have lost the life raft. The day started normal as any stranded person's day would start. First, you remember you're all alone. Second, you're thirsty and you're hungry. And third, you're always needing something, and I needed rope. There was also the ever-lingering poison that was just slowly killing me, and I was starting to feel the effects. If I didn't do something about this soon, I would be dead within a day or two. I just didn't know how. Lacking knowledge and materials, I was forced to raft over to the nearest island in the horizon. However, it was much further out than I had thought, making this raft ever more valuable. After what felt like hours, I finally reached the shore to the new island, but a monstrous crab was waiting for me and it charged. In my weakened state, I could not afford a fight like this. Does nature give a crap? No, it's kill or be killed. I ran looking for anything to defend myself, but there were only sticks. It clawed and lunged at me, striking me with great force. I tossed my hastily made spear as a last resort, and it landed its mark, but it did not kill the beast. It was over, I thought. This is it, I thought. I was going to meet death and say, "See you tomorrow!" I raced for another stick, sharpening it faster than the last. I steadied myself. I chucked it with all the remaining strength I had, and I had won. I was barely alive, but I was alive. At this point, I couldn't even walk straight. The poison was running its course. But then out of nowhere, a line hit me like a freight train. Put the lime in the coconut. I had no idea why, but this thought saved my life. I was able to produce an antidote, and the watch confirmed the poison was now gone. In my delirious state, I was thinking to myself, Lestrade sure would be proud, as I collected my pirate treasure. Then it hit me. The second freight train of the day. My life raft. What was the first thing I did when I got here? Get absolutely bodied by a crab half my size. That sure doesn't sound like securing the raft so it doesn't freaking float out into the endless goddamn ocean. I frantically circled the island, calling out to my raft like it was a lost puppy. It's gone. It's gone. My only way back to my little vacation island has been swept away. And now I'm sitting in the rain, wondering, is it even worth it? Do I even care to continue on now? I mean, I'm pretty much already dead. Why continue when you barely survived a plane crash? Why go another day when you just cured yourself of a little starfish poison? Why not give up when you just kicked a crab's ass? You know what? Screw that. I want to live. I mean, when I really think about my situation, what's changed? I'm still stranded, deep in the ocean. I still need water. I still need food. And I sure as hell need more freaking rope. God, I hate rope. I was able to manage to set up a sleeping place, as well as a reliable source of water as night was setting. But as I was finishing up my camp, I found another one of those sinister crabs. No doubt coming to finish the job. Well, I wasn't gonna give it the chance to sneak up on me, the crab slayer. This time, I charged the diabolical fiend, lunging pre-made spears right into its stupid face. But somehow, in the middle of battle, that sea devil vanished. And I normally wouldn't say this, but I'm glad I still have my brown pants on. I tracked down the beast, cowering behind some rocks. I had it cornered, and I wasn't going to risk getting close. With a glorious nat 20 toss, my spear hit its mark, and the crab literally exploded. Looks like I'll be eating good tonight. Dear diary, the fourth day finally arrived. I couldn't get to sleep last night. It's just too fidgety. And there's pigs on the island as well. They're squealing out into the ocean. No doubt signaling to the crabs that I'm here. I gotta get out of here. Fast. Started stockpiling wood in just hopes to making some kind of makeshift raft. This island has so many trees, so wood's not really a problem. It's the rope. It's always the rope. I knew it. I caught one of the pigs attempting to send a message to the crab overlords on the beach. I had to dispose of the pig before it was able to summon in more of those monsters. But after it took a shot, I was beginning to see why the crabs would have lined themselves with these pigs. They're very hardy, very durable. Unfortunately, I could not afford to let this one live. It took 3 shots to finally bring him down. Hopefully before the message was able to get out to the crabs. Can't take any chances. I've gone through most of the wreckages around the island, and I was able to pull up much more than I was at the last island. With all of this, I should be able to take on any more crabs if they happen to come. Hopefully it's enough. I'm gonna go out one more time just to be safe. Terrible idea. It sure got me. Let's stop the bleeding. I'm getting lightheaded. Barely made
I can hear the crabs and the storm. They're out there. So I decided to send them a message. Oh god. Now that the storm is over, I hear it. It's inside one of my coconuts. It must have snuck in during the storm. But I'm not gonna let it get me. There's nothing inside. I need this coconut and go to bed. Dear Diary, 5 days and counting.
Another note to put beside poisoning: antidotes may cause delusions and paranoia. Discretion is advised. I can only remember bits and pieces from what I can only hope was a day. I double-checked some places in a more stable mindset. I did find some barrels chained down, and I was able to get them onto the beach. I'm pretty sure I could make the base of a raft with these. I was still feeling the effects of my enlightenment, so I ate a filling lunch and then strapped the barrels together. Once those were secure, I put together a nice flat floor that looks like it will hold. Throughout the day when I was testing the raft to make sure it would even hold me, I kept flipping it over. After correcting this issue, I decided to bundle up a bit of the hoard of wood my other self collected for me and expand out the raft a little bit. I also went ahead and added some flooring to these parts as well. Everything seemed to be pretty sturdy. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to pull it out to the ocean and give it a proper test run. Dear Diary, lucky number day 6. Nothing too noteworthy today, just keeping myself well hydrated, warm, and for the most part fed. I have decided to add an extra part to the raft. For tomorrow, I will once again sail to another island in search of more supplies. I just hope this time I'll actually come back to this home. Dear Diary, it's already been a week. Today I set sail to the new island, surprisingly without any issues. Unless you count the whale shark reminded me that having brown pants is imperative in this world. This time around, I decided to secure the raft before challenging the local wildlife. Now that I was prepared, these crabs were much easier to handle. In the shallow waters, I found another trio of barrels that I could use, as well as all sorts of items inside the sunken ships. With a little bit of assistance, I was able to get my raft expanded even further with all the loot I had found on this island. It was well into the night when I finally got the sail set up, and it was time to leave. There were a lot more boxes than I realized as I was loading it all on. I finally added on something to steer with, so that way I could finally return back to my kingdom. So far, everything is going great. Dear Diary, Day 8. A new week has started. I can't believe it. I made it back with no issues. The raft didn't fall apart in the waves. I was sure a giant monster was going to get me on the way back. Could I have died without knowing it? Me? Doubt it. Once I knew nothing was floating away, I stockpiled my loot and wow! When did I get all these boxes? It took a good chunk of the day just to organize all of this stuff. Hopefully I can actually use any of it. I was still in the zone, I didn't even notice how hungry and thirsty I was. But once I was back to 100%, I think a well-deserved nap was in order. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.